Welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to understand about one more Kubernetes core concept called deployments. So we have already seen a Kubernetes cluster with two worker nodes and two pods in each worker node from a replica set. So now deployment is going to be a superset of replica set, which means replica set can provide few features, and when we call deployment as a superset, it can provide many features for us. Okay, so in addition to what replica set provides, so that's about the deployment advantage we have. And there is no difference in accessing the applications hosted via replica set or deployment. So all it is going to be using the service concept in Kubernetes. So now let's go ahead and then see what are the deployment features available for us, or what it provides for us or for our applications hosted on Kubernetes. So we can create a deployment to roll out a replica set. By default, whenever we create a deployment, a replica set is rolled out. And updating the deployment. So whenever we want to change our application version, update our application version, we can do the updation of the deployment. When we do this, automatically our version, whatever we are going to update, it is going to be recorded. So now using that, we can easily roll back to our respective older deployment, whatever we want, because it is maintaining the versions. Or if you have updated from v1 to v2, v2 to v3, and then v3 to v4, and now again if you want to go back to v2, yes, you will be able to go, because it maintains the versions and then version history. So now we will be also able to scale our deployments. So how we have done the scaling in replica sets, in the same way in deployment also we'll have a tag of replicas where we can add the number of replicas, we can add it, or we can use kubectl scale to scale our deployment. And we can even pause and resume a deployment. So in deployment, the core thing here is, like, whenever you apply a change to your deployment, immediately it will be applied to your pods. So that is the thing. So if you want to make multiple changes, then you really don't want the pods to be recreated or terminated and recreated every second for every change. So you have 10 changes to make to your deployment, then pause the deployment and make all the changes, and then resume the deployment, so that all those changes will be applied to your deployment at a time. So like this, there are multiple things we can take an advantage using the deployment. So whenever you are doing the deployment, you can even get the rollout status or deployment status. And there will be something called cleanup policy. Cleanup policy is nothing but, so whenever we do the updation of our deployments, it maintains the rollout version history, and by default it maintains last 10 versions of our application. So we can go to that respective version using that, or we will be able to add more number of versions by adding additional tag in our YAML manifest under the spec of the deployment. We'll see that in the later cases if we want to. So, and next thing is canary deployments. So if we want to add a new version of our application in the live production traffic, and the traffic should distribute with old version and then new version, still we will be able to do it using canary deployments. So all these things are available for us with deployment. So let's go ahead and then create a simple deployment object and then expose it as a service, and then access it via browser and then test it once. After that, again we'll move on to updating the deployment, rollbacking the deployment, or pausing and resuming. All those things we are going to see step by step now. So I'll see you in the next lecture. Until then, bye bye. Thank you. Welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to do the deployments demo. So we'll go to 04 deployments with kubectl. So let me go inside. And inside that, 0401 will be creating our deployment, scaling our deployment, and exposing it as a service. So all those things we are going to do it now, right? So step 01, introduction to deployments, we have just now completed. So we are going to move on to creating a deployment, right? So to create a deployment, we are going to use kubectl create deployment, and the deployment name, whatever we are going to put, and our container image. So we are going to use the kube nginx image, and if you see here, this is the Docker image location, and we have 1.0.0 to 4.0.0. So if we have 4 versions of our Nginx application which we are going to leverage and then test end-to-end all the deployment features about updating the deployment, rolling back the deployment, or pausing and then resuming the deployments. In addition to that, rolling back the deployment to specific version or rolling back the deployment to older version or previous version. All these things we are going to test it. So that's the reason we have 4 versions of our Nginx application present here. So let's go back. So let's create the deployment now. So we are going to copy this and go here and paste it. So our deployment got created. So we'll say kubectl get deployments, right? So our first deployment got deployed. Even we can use the alias name deploy. So these aliases will help us in when we are in hurry. We really don't need to completely provide the deployments, or just give deploy and then it provides the output. In the same way for services it is SV, and then for pods PO. So it's always good to learn these aliases. For replica sets it is going to be RS, so like that. So now kubectl describe deployment and the deployment name. So my first deployment, right? So this is the deployment. Scaled up replica set by my first deployment, whatever the replica set name it is providing. So if you say kubectl get RS, so we have seen that creating a deployment will create the replica set. So it has created one. So we can see it, and it has one pod under it. So let me clear this and say kubectl get pods. So we have one pod created as part of this deployment. So now the next thing is to scale our deployment. So using kubectl scale, we will be able to scale our deployment. So let's do that now. Kubectl scale, and the number of replicas I want it from 1 to 20, right? And my deployment name, right? My first deployment. So you can use deployment space my first deployment, or even we can use this way. Anything is fine. So now it is going to scale. So let's see kubectl get deploy and also kubectl get. So we have 20 and then already 16 is available now. They are coming up. So one more time if we check, so mostly 20 should be available. So you can even say kubectl get pods, and you see all 20 out of 20 are running. So one more thing here is kubectl get replica sets, and if you see in replica sets, so we got the output that 20 out of 20 are up and running, all the pods. So now the next thing is like we can scale down our deployment using replicas to 10. So let's go back here, and instead of 20, let's bring down our things to 10, and automatically our pods will get terminated now, right? So out of 20, 10 pods will get terminated, and then we will end up with only 10 pods. That's good. So now the next thing is expose deployment as a service. Again, we are going to use the same node port service concept what we have used for our pod earlier. The same we are going to use it. So instead of pod, we are going to use it as deployment. Kubectl expose deployment and deployment name, and the type is going to be node port, and my service port is going to be 80, and the target port, my container port, is going to be 80, and the name of the service is my first deployment service. So let's go ahead and then create this now, right? So let the service get created, and now kubectl get svc, and my service is got created, and its port is node port is 32169. So I'll say kubectl get nodes -o and then void. So now I got the public IP, so I can use any one of them out of 2 and then 32169. So let's go ahead and then access it now, right? So 32169. So now our application v1 version is up and running, and then we are able to access it, means like a deployment exposed as a service for us, right? So let me go back here, and that completes the simple creation of a deployment and then testing of scaling the deployment and also exposing the deployment as a service. So everything we have done using imperative commands using kubectl, right? So in our next lecture, we'll focus on updating the deployment. So until then, bye bye. Thank you. Welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to work on updating our deployments. So we are going to go into 0402 update deployment. And if you see here, we can do the update deployment using either set image or edit deployment options. So in step 1, we'll use set image, and in step 2, we are going to use the edit deployment. So and then there will be multiple things to understand and then multiple observations we need to make when we are doing this. So that will be in this model, we will get a lot of knowledge on what we are doing. So let's go up, and then so for the update deployment using set image, right? So one thing we need to do is like we need to get the container name correctly. So first thing is, if let's see the update deployment command. So kubectl set image and then deployment and the deployment name, and container name is equal to container image. So here we need to have the container name. So to get this container name, we can get that container name using this command kubectl get deployment name -o YAML, and where we can find it is spec.container name. There we can find it. So let's find our container name. So if we go up, you can see that spec.containers.name, and then you can find kube nginx. So that's our container name. So in kubectl set image deployment name, and then container name is kube nginx is equal to my new container image, which is nothing but stack simplify / kube nginx : 2.0.0. So earlier we have used 1.0.0. So that's the reason our application is coming as application v1. So now if we are going to update it to 2.0.0. So let's go ahead and then do that now. So kubectl set image and then this one, and then we said that -- record true for our versioning, rollout versioning to be enabled. Copy and come here and paste it, right? So now our deployment got updated. Immediately we can see the rollout status here. So waiting for the deployment, and out of 9 of 10 updated, and finally 10th one also updated. So using rollout status, you can see how the rollout is going to happen. Now if you see the kubectl get pods, then ideally you see that all the pods got recreated, which means its age is only 23 seconds. Just now it got created. So with the new image, right? So now you can even see kubectl get deploy, right? So to see that all are up and running, up to date, and then available is 10. So now describe the deployment. So by describing the deployment, what we are going to understand, we can verify the events and understand that Kubernetes by default do rolling update for new application releases. So what is the rolling update, and then why we do rolling update by default? So when the Kubernetes does the rolling update, what happens is like the downtime of our application is going to be 0, right? So one after the other it is going to update our pods. And there is one more strategy in this update deployment. There is one more strategy is, in addition to rolling, there will be something called recreate. So if it recreates, which means like it will delete all the pods and then recreate at a time. So at that time you can expect the downtime for your application. By default it is going to be rolling update, so we really don't need to define anything even in our deployment spec itself whenever we are writing the YAML manifest. But there will be some cases like MySQL containers are these things wherein you want to recreate the stuff. So in those cases you can use the recreate strategy. But in general applications, whatever you use, 99.99% will be using the rolling update. So that's the reason Kubernetes by default defaulted it. Okay, so let's go here and then describe our deployment. Kubectl describe deployment and my deployment name, right? So let's see the events here once it comes, right? So you can see it here. So it has done a rolling update one after the other. Okay, scaled up replica set, and then it started updating one after the other, and then it already completed all the things. Okay, so one important thing we need to notice here is the replica set. So whenever we have done the update, it is going to create a new replica set. So the old replica set becomes 0 and the new replica set. So 26 minutes back we created the first deployment in our previous section. At that time this replica set it created. Means like with this replica set we have the old version 1.0.0 and it created a new replica set with 2.0.0 of our application. So this is one more observation which we need to know. And one more thing is get pods. Okay, pod template hash label. So this also you can compare and understand that it's a different one. So let's see here our pod and then template. So pod template hash label, you can see it here. It is pointing to our second replica set, whatever it got created. So recently, which is 2 minutes back. Okay, so that's about it. And verify your rollout history of a deployment. So we have the rollout history, so we can switch back to older versions using revision history available to us in our next section. So 0403 we are going to do the rollbacks. So at that time this will be helpful, but now we are going to just see the rollout history of our my first deployment application, right? kubectl rollout history, deployment, and then deployment name. So it says that the version is 2.0.0 and this is the second one. So we have recorded it, so it is true. So now the last thing is access your application. So already I have it in our browser, but if you want you can go and then go to kubectl get svc and then get the node port here 32169 and get nodes -o void to get your external IP and then access it. I already have it here 32169. So if I refresh it, so now it is v1, it should become v2. See, now my application version is v2 and the background also got changed to sky blue color. So that's about it. So now our successful deployment has been happened, means like we updated our deployment using the set image option without any issues, and all these observations we have done. So in our next lecture we'll focus on doing it using kubectl edit deployment. So I'll see you in the next lecture. Until then, bye bye. Thank you. Welcome back. In this step, we are going to update our application from v2 to v3 using the kubectl edit deployment option. So this is very important option, and then this is the option we are going to use in real time most of the time whenever running deployments we have. So kubectl edit deployment, deployment name, and then we'll go inside the deployment spec and then update it. So that's the reason. So just look into it. You see it here, kubectl edit deployment and then space my first deployment, means like deployment name or / whatever it is. Okay, so and then you are going to go to containers spec.containers.image and change your image version from 2.0.0 to 3.0.0. so let's go ahead and then do that now. So whenever you are doing it, you can even say that if you want to save the version history, you can say that -- record is equal to true. So let's go here, and so I can even say kubectl edit deployment my first deployment, and it is nothing but -- record is equal to true, right? And I'm going to go at the end, which is nothing but escape shift G, and I'll go up, and if you see, this is the spec.containers.image. So I am going to change from 2 to 3 here, 3.0.0, and I'm going to save it, escape : WQ, right? So now deployment got edited, right? So if you want, you can see the rollout history one more time. Okay, so maybe I am delayed, so it might have already got completed. Okay, so it already rolled out. So if you see the pods, again all the pods will be terminated and then recreated. See, all these are 15 seconds only, started just 15 seconds before or 20 seconds before. So that's a good thing. So now if you see, one more observation here is, so one more time you have edited one more replica set, means like this is one more deployment. So your one more replica set you will be able to see for your third version. So let's go ahead and then see that now. kubectl get rs, right, and kubectl get pods. So you can verify the hashtag here, right? So which is nothing but, this is the one current live one, which is nothing but 3.0.0 version and 774b, and for our pods also you can see 774b as the hash label, right? So that's about it. So now the next thing is rollout history. So let's see the rollout history of our thing, and it should be version 3, right? So this is the one we have done in version 3, and then that is what we are seeing it now. So finally, whenever we access the application, right, so we should see version 3. Currently it is v2 here, and if you want I can make it bigger, yeah, and if I refresh it should be v3. See, right? So now the application version is v3. So this completes our 2 options whatever we have available using the imperative way to update our deployments, we have completed. So in our next lecture we are going to focus on rollback deployments. So I'll see you in the next lecture. Until then, bye bye. Thank you. Welcome back. In this lecture we are going to learn about rolling back a deployment. So we are going to go into 0403, and we can do this in 2 ways. One is roll back to the exact previous version whatever we have just now updated, or we can go to the specific version of the rollback. So we can do that in both ways. So in step 1 we are going to roll back to a previous version, and in step 2 we are going to do in a specific version. So let's start with understanding, means like let's get the rollout history first, and then after that we'll go ahead and then see what we are going to do. So first thing is kubectl rollout history, right? kubectl rollout history and deployment and my first deployment. So we should have the 3 releases. One is the default version whatever we have deployed, and then we have upgraded it using set image, which is 2.0.0, and later using edit deployment we went into 3.0.0. So if we want to see specific version what changes happened, we can even see that. So let's go here, and in rollout history provide the revision numbers. So even you can say like this, okay, --, revision is equal to 1. So it will provide in revision 1 what happened. So we need to observe the image tag or annotations present there. So in this respective revision 1, directly it is a first deployment, so we will have only image, and in this image you can see 1.0.0. In the same way for revision 2, it is going to be image tag is 2.0.0, and the annotation, if you see what is the change cause, in this annotation you can see kubernetes.io and then change cause, and using kubectl set image you have changed it to 2.0.0. So like this you can see everything clearly. So now let's see revision 3. So there also you will see the annotation and the change cause, and using kubectl edit deployment you have changed the image version from 2.0.0 to 3.0.0. So that's what is the verify changes in each version. Okay, so now roll back to previous version. So let's go ahead and then roll back. So to roll back we just need to say kubectl rollout undo the deployment whatever we have done. So kubectl rollout undo deployment, and my deployment name is my first deployment. We can even copy paste, or we can even do this way. So let's execute one more time. Okay, so the changes got deployed. So now, which means like from v3 it should go to v2 version. And so let's see the rollout history one more time, right? So rollout history and remove the revision so that we'll see all the history. So we should have a rollout history 4 now, right? So why? Because now we have changed from 3 to 4, okay, and the image version from 3 to 2, which means here earlier you have the revision version 2, you have undo, means like you went to that version, so that's the reason now you got the 4 with 2.0.0. So now let's come back here. So if we roll back, it will go back to revision 2 and its number increases to revision 4. So our revision 2 number got revision 4 now, right? So now if you want, you can cross check your deployments and then replica sets, everything we can check now. So kubectl get rs, right? And it should be using the deployment whatever is used earlier for v2 version. Okay, replica set, and get pods all should be deleted and then recreated now. So within last 76 seconds only. So all these got recreated. In the same way, if we want, we can access the application and then we should see v2 version of our application, because that is what we have rolled back now. So let's go back here, and currently it is v3, and then we roll back it to older version which is v2, and it should see v2. So that's the story here. So now in our next step, we need to move on with the roll back to specific version. So let's do that now. So as usual, you can see your rollout history, and then we have seen just now that is nothing but 4 is the current version, right, with the 2.0.0 as the image. So now I want to roll back to specific version, and my specific version is going to be version 3, which is nothing but where I have the 3.0.0 application v3 version I am having here in this revision 3. So I'm going to say kubectl rollout undo deployment, my first deployment, and then I'm going to give the revision number here, which is nothing but to specific revision, and my revision number I am saying is this one 3, so which has the image 3.0.0. so I will say this, right, and once the changes are done, immediately we are going to see it roll back to that version. So I'm going to first check the pods, okay, and then it is deleting and then recreating it, and we will go ahead and then get the rollout history, right? So we should 3 should go away, and then we should get the same thing as 5, and we got it, right? So that's the thing. So now we can access the application, and we should have the v3 version of the application because we roll back to that version. Okay, you can see that. So that's about the 0403 rollback deployments. One last thing in this is like if you want to restart your applications in a rolling restart fashion, means like all the pods need to be restarted due to some memory issues or some whatever you have, and if you want to restart your application, so you can do a kubectl rolling restart, and in your deployment name, right, deployment space deployment name or deployment / my first deployment, and it will do the restart. So once the restart is done, you can say kubectl get pods, and the restart should be happening now. See, so now if you see here, all restarted. 8 seconds is the age, you can see it, right, 13 seconds. So just now all these things got recreated immediately. Okay, so that's about the rollback deployment. So in our next lecture, we'll focus on pause and resume deployments. So I'll see you in the next lecture. Until then, bye bye. Thank you. Welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to learn the pause and resume deployment options in our Kubernetes deployments. So let's go inside that 0404 pause and then resume deployments, right? So why do we need pausing and then resuming deployments? So if we want to make multiple changes to our deployments, we can pause the deployment, make all changes to our deployment, and then resume it. So if you don't do so, as soon as you keep applying the changes to your deployment, live deployment, then automatically the changes gets deployed and then pods get terminated and then recreated. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to make 2 changes. One is we are going to make our application version from v3 to v4 as part of this pause and resume deployments, and one more change also we are going to apply about applying the CPU limits for our application. So we are going to do all those things. Okay, so before that, check current state of your deployment and then application, right? So if you see kubectl rollout history deployment, my first deployment, and then see our application current rollout versions whatever we have here, right? So we are at 6 with the kubectl edit deployment here, right? So we are at 6 now, which means, and also verify your number of replica sets, how many you have currently, right? So mostly you should have 4 replica sets here, right? So now if we create one more version, one more replica set should get created. Okay, make a note of the number of replica sets present here. We have currently 4 replica sets present, and our rolling versions also we are seeing till 6 we are here. And one more thing is access your application and see the application version. So now I am accessing it, and if you see we are in the v3 version of our application. So let's go inside and then pause deployment and make these 2 changes. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is kubectl rollout pause, means like I'm going to pause our respective my first deployment. So let's go ahead and then do that now. Kubectl rollout pause deployment and my first deployment, right? So once we have paused our deployment, so we can make whatever the changes we want to. So we are going to update our application from v3 to v4 using 4.0.0. Earlier, whenever you have done this set image command, automatically changes happened and then all the pods got recreated, all those things. Okay, so but now whenever you do this, nothing should happen. Okay, so as our deployment got passed, whatever you do on the live deployment object, nothing should happen. So everything should be as is. So if you go ahead and then see the rollout history, okay, so we should see the same thing, which is nothing but it is only at the 6th level, right? So no rollout history because it is in the deployment pause mode. If you see the replica sets, you should have the same count of replica sets whatever you have seen earlier, which is 4 replica sets, right? So now if you resume the deployment, so then automatically changes will happen. Before that, we will also make one more change saying that kubectl set resources for my first deployment with for the container kube nginx, and I am saying how much memory and then how much this one I am going to allocate. I am writing it here. So maybe I am using a simple cluster here. So this might be a bigger number, which is nothing but 512 mi and all those things. So I will say, okay, 30 mi, okay, 30 MB or even less. Okay, so I am not even putting anything, right? So and then I'm going to put 20, right? 20 M CPU. Okay, so instead of 200 M CPU, I'm just giving 20 M CPU, right? So and then make this change, right? So why? Because I am using a T3 medium cluster. So ideally if I give this much, then I am already using 10 pods. So then it is going to create a lot of problem for us. Okay, so this error you can ignore. So it's a timeout error. Okay, the change got applied. Okay, so now if you go ahead and then see your rollout history, still nothing should happen. We have made 2 changes, but nothing should happen because still we didn't resume our deployment, right? So and if you see the application version also, it will be only v3 only. Okay, so now let's go ahead and then resume our application deployment. So kubectl rollout resume and then deployment / my first deployment. So let me do that. So as soon as we do this and then see the rollout history, then you should see the 7th version coming in. You see the kubectl get pods and they should get created, right? And then few are terminating and then few are creating. So all these things happens now. Okay, and we can go ahead and then access our application and see what happens. Okay, so let me go to my application and then access it once all pods are ready. And also let's cross check our replica sets count. Get rs, right? Earlier it is 4 replica sets and now as it is 4.0.0 version, we should have 5 replica sets. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. That's good. So now let's go ahead and then access our application. We should see the v4 version of our application. See, now we have the v4 version. So we have successfully tested in deployments the following things: creating a deployment, scaling the deployments, exposing the deployment as a node port service, and updating the deployments with 2 options available for us, which is set image and then edit deployment. And also we have rollback the deployments using to previous version and to specific version. And in addition to that, we have also tested the pause and then resume deployment. So this completes the deployment section using the imperative commands. So let's go ahead and then do the cleanup of whatever we have created, right? So kubectl get deployments and then delete the deployment, right? Delete deploy, and my first deployment got deleted, right? In the same way, delete svc, right? So before that, we'll get the name of the service, get svc, and then delete service my first deployment service, right? So now if you see kubectl get all from our default namespace, other than cluster IP of Kubernetes, nothing should be there. So we have completely cleaned up everything. So this completes the deployment section, and in our next section is going to be services, and then we will see services concepts in our next section. So I'll see you in the next lecture. Until then, bye bye. Thank you.